So now we've tracked and sorted our data for 4 months, and we can see that although there has been a great deal of variability in the numbers, the total spending each month has remained in the area of $3,000, except for the month of April, which went way off the charts. And sometimes that's just life. That's why I recommend having a peace of mind fund with about 6 months of expenses set aside for those times when life throws you a curveball. You want to avoid resorting to carrying a balance on your credit cards. So let's take a look at these numbers and do a little analysis now. The point of this exercise is to determine what is the basic nut that you have to cover each month. So column F is where we're going to establish our baseline. So let's write baseline there. And we're looking for recurring expenses. We can see that the bank fee was a one-time expense, so we'll skip over that. Same with the car insurance. Car maintenance may be an ongoing expense for you if you have an older car or if you get a car wash every month. For the car payments, it looks like there was a regular payment in January and then a lump sum prepayment in February. Erratic payments like that make it hard to plan. So let's plan on regular, consistent payments. Let's take that $340 up and make it a $350. And let's make this all have the dollar signs. Okay. Now for clothing. You can see that there are inconsistent small amounts going towards clothing. Not a big clothes horse here, so let's put $25 in the envelope every month to go towards clothing. Debt payment. A lot of different kinds of numbers here. It's better to determine a consistent amount to pay towards debt every month. Now, it could be that expenses are being paid by credit card and the credit card is being paid off in the same month. If that's the case, don't record it as a debt payment because you would actually be recording it in 2 places for the same month and it'll look like you're spending twice what you really are. Let's assume that there's a pile of debt being paid down here and decide on a consistent amount to pay monthly. For expediency, let's just say $600 for now. And look for my other video on paying off debt systematically. Skip over dental. We're going to be setting up a separate account for donations in another video, so we want to address it here. Let's just say $50 for now. Eating out will, in the future, be coming out of an account set up for treating yourself and having fun. So we won't be needing this category here in our spending plan. See the next video for that. Skip education and eyeglasses. Gasoline. Let's say $55 a month. Gifts. Gifts can be really hard to budget for. It might be a good idea to set aside a special account or an envelope in your desk drawer where you stash away money for this. It's especially tempting to go overboard at holiday times and whip out the credit cards, but beware. Figure out what an appropriate amount is for you to spend on holiday gift giving. Divide that number by 12 and put that amount aside every month, and then challenge yourself to use only what you have set aside. Look at the groceries. Oh, quite a spread here. Let's average it out to about $600 and use that. Household. It looks like just over 100 is the norm. So let's go with 125 here. Driver's license one time. Investment is a good idea. Consistent contributions are better than sporadic. So let's come back to this after we go through everything and see what we come up with. Let's average out the laundry to 27. Life insurance, easy, it's not changing. Medical, not a regular expense unless you're paying premiums or undergoing treatments. So in this case, we're going to skip over it. Moving expense, we'll skip over. Newspaper, $12.99. Personal care, let's just say $20 a month. Personal growth looks like a one-time. Pet expense looks like a new pet. Let's write in $30 a month for food. And of course, that can be adjusted as they go through the month to month. Savings, $260. Takeout, no more takeout. Taxes, annual thing, skip that. Travel expense. If that's a goal for you, set up an envelope or a separate account and put money aside for that. Now let's add it all up and see what we get. Adding it up, we got $2,265.66. Now this number is quite low compared to the actual history shown here, but remember that this is a baseline number that we can work from. And remember that we said we would come back to the investment category? Well, assuming that we want to keep the monthly total somewhere in the $3,000 range, there is still plenty of room to continue with that, with the $180 a month for investing. So we'll add that back in there. I don't want to bring the numbers all the way up to 3,000. I like to leave some room for making adjustments from month to month as we hone the system. So your baseline is now going to be your guideline. So if you're thinking that these numbers are unrealistic or have nothing to do with your own situation, let me just remind you that these numbers are just an example of how to set things up so that you can see what your own numbers are. Go through this process for your personal spending and then do a separate analysis for your business expenses. You'll find that it's very useful for getting your cash flow organized.